First of all, if you clicked on this video, thank you very much. Appreciate it. And if you would, subscribe. I could use all the subscribers I can get. Interesting story about the Deuter Kid Fit 2.0 or Kid Comfort 2. My mother-in-law bought that backpack for my wife's sister, and when they had their first kid, they didn't use it, so in storage it went for about 2-3 years, and it never came out. So when we had our first child, they offered that backpack to us, and of course we took it. It was a free backpack, and I think it MSRP at the time that it came out, which was about maybe 10 years ago, was around 300, and I think in some places it still is 300, over 300. So we jumped at the opportunity and we took the backpack. Neighbor's dog's barking. So the only thing that was wrong with it was the support had been bent a little bit. There's a support bar, but it still worked fine. And like I said, they never used it, so it was almost brand new. We used that with my son for almost 2.5 years before he maxed out on it. So when we first got it, I asked my wife, who's going to carry it? Who's going to carry, are we going to switch off? And she said, I'll take it. And I said, are you sure? She said, yes. I said, okay, fine, great. Now, every time we went hiking, she wore it. But every time before we went hiking, I asked, and I offered. I said, I'd be happy to take it. And she said no, she had it. It was fine with me. So she took it. And on trail, nothing but smiles. People would comment about how that was the way to travel. People would say they wish they had one for themselves. It was all good. And as my son got older and heavier, we knew that we had one trip left, which was a spring break trip to Palo Duro Canyon in the panhandle of Texas. And once again I offered, and I said, look, I'm willing to carry it. He's gotten a lot heavier. And she said, no, I'll wear it. And I said, okay. So we're hiking in Palo Duro, and we came across this group of about 3 adult males and about 10 to 12, I'm going to put them at teenagers, about 14, 15, 16 years old. They weren't in uniform, so they could have been Boy Scouts, church group, I don't know. The 2 adult males were describing scat along the trail, and when we first passed them, that's what they were doing. So some of the boys were listening to a lesson, and the other boys were just continuing on. They didn't pay us much attention, but the adult males did, and they just waved and said howdy in the Texas way, and we passed them. Well, later on the trail, I'll say about an hour later, we were coming back from a peak, and we had stopped to rest. My wife took the Deuter backpack off, and my son was playing around, and this group approached. And once again, they waved and said hi and carried on. And who I took as the leader of this group made a comment that still irks me to this day. And that was over 4 years ago. We waved again and said, have a good hike, or some comment like that. And he looked at me, and then he looked at my wife, and then he looked back, and he said, that, and he pointed at the backpack, at the carrier, and he said, that should be on you, not her. That's all I'm saying. And off he walked. And I didn't want to confront him. I didn't want to start anything on a trail, so I just let it slide. But I looked at my wife and I said, Yeah. Next time, I'm carrying it because it just ate at me. Maybe I'm wrong. Comment down below. So that was the last time we used it. When my daughter was born, once again, we set out hiking, and I told my wife, I'm carrying this carrier from now on. I will carry her every time. I said, I do not want to go through that. I do not want to be judged by somebody. Chauvinism, whatever you want to call it. It bothered me. So the first time we went out hiking, my daughter was less than a year. And I'm telling y'all, I had never worn that carrier before, and I have never worn the carrier since. We went on a 2-mile hike, and by the time it was over with, I was in so much shoulder, chest, and back pain that I had never experienced hiking before, ever. And I've had some heavy loads, 20, 30, 35-pound backpacks. This was intense. I felt like my shoulders were being ripped off. My back was burning with pain. It was incredibly uncomfortable on my chest area. And once I took that carrier off, I said, I can't do this. I cannot wear this. I don't know why. And I messed with the adjustment to go as large as it would go. Didn't work. And so we're headed out to do some hiking on a summer vacation, and my wife has volunteered once again. She's a wonderful person. She volunteered for one last time to carry before my daughter gets too heavy. And once a child reaches about 2.5 years, that's about the limit of what a person can carry on their back. So I'll keep you updated, but I cannot wear that backpack. I recommend it if you're female or if you are a thin male. I have a rather large torso. It's a thick torso. I cannot wear it. It's not designed for me. But if I was about 50, 60, 70 pounds lighter, I probably could wear it. So do I recommend it? Yes, it's a very good carrier. It's high quality. It's lasted years for us, and it's loaded with features. It's worth every dollar, but make sure that you're not a big person. It will not be comfortable. So once again, thanks. Like and subscribe. Till next time.